Hi everyone and welcome back to a new video. In this one we're going to be taking a look at progress on Echoes in the Meadow, my own indie game, and just how much this game is going to cost me personally. So here we are. It's been a few weeks since you probably last saw this game, and there's been minimal progress on the game. I updated the cabin so I could get a better idea on the layout and how things were going to work in the scene. I added a few props from my other YouTube tutorial about animations from the log cabin that fit the scene really nicely. So they're now in the scene. I've got the lamp and the table, which you may recognize from those videos, and also did this cool like rifle as well. Turn off the lights, might be able to see it a bit easier. So I've got this nice rifle model that I brought in, kind of old, beat up looking, just to match the style. And I've just basically worked on padding out some of the animations and adding in some of the little props and extras that's going to go along with the animations. So beforehand, I don't think you saw the rancher with, it certainly didn't have his hat on, so he's now definitely more ranchy, and carrying a bottle of beer as well, which is a bottle that gets thrown when you're inside the stable later on. So he just kind of stumbles out. That animation hasn't changed much. Then he walks to the barn, and you see the horse in the stable, and that's about as far as we've got. But what has been quite cool is now I have looked at integrating a few of the packages. I don't want to get too far before bringing them into the project, because sometimes when you bring a package in, all sorts of errors start to crop up. So I thought I'd start bringing in some packages a little bit early, and primarily we've brought in easy save, which is going to allow me to save features of the game, and we'll talk more about that later on. And also I've managed to fix my chain issue. I don't know if you remember a few videos ago, I really wanted to have the horse have a chain around its neck that, as you progress through the game, got shorter and shorter until it eventually came off altogether. Started off with quite an elaborate system using Unity's inbuilt physics features, but it just wasn't working. Every time the horse was galloping, you could slowly see the chain detach from its origin point, which very much broke the illusion. So I've been looking at using Obi Rope, which is another package from the asset store, and it comes with the ability to create chains, which is perfect, because that's exactly what we want to do. And now we'll see that when we run the game, you can see now I've got my chain in there, shining in the moonlight. It's fixed to its point on the neck, which is perfect. And when you run, it doesn't start to move away, which is exactly what we need it to do, is jump over the fence. See if we can zoom in a bit and gallop. It's always attached now to that where it needs to be. And it's a really nice looking system. And I think I really wanted to use that chain as part of the narrative. And having it on there, I think, really does help now. And especially moving it realistically just makes it look so much more dynamic. So bringing in Obi Rope has definitely fixed my chain problems. And I was I'd already spent hours up till this point on just getting that kind of chain feature that I wanted to work. And that got me thinking about how much time I was spending on different parts of this project and the financial cost of actually building an indie game. Yes, it's a passion project. I'm doing it because I really love it, and I'm just going to do it in my spare time. It got me thinking about how much are the assets that I've brought so far, and how much have I spent. And also, I like to think of the time as it having a financial impact, because you could be doing so much more in that time. You could be doing things that are actually kind of making you money. And at the end of this project, I do want to put this on Steam and then sell it. So I want to try and keep track of the amount of time I'm spending on this game to figure out the financial impact and actually how much it's cost me in terms of time and money. So I created this very nifty spreadsheet, which I'm going to use to keep track of how the day at which I've worked on it and the cost per hour, which at the minute is £15 an hour. And that's probably about $20, give or take. And then that's going to track the labor costs. So this is the time I'm sitting here making a game. How many hours is that? And what's the financial impact of that? Which I've calculated there, which is at the moment it's £525, which is about $660. So already I've done 35 hours on this game just to get it to where it is today. Maybe even a little bit more, because I only started doing this yesterday. So we can see that I've spent so far 35 hours making this game, which if you had to put a monetary value against that would be £525, $660. And then the money that I've spent, like the real money to get this game to where it is today, I got the animation system for the horse, easy save integration so I can easily save data, Obi Rope which fixed the chain, and the domain name registration for the website. And that so far has come out to $169, so that's already gone out. So the financial cost to me so far is £694, which is about $880, which is loads of money just to get it to where it is today. But had I not got those art assets, had I not spent that £169, this game wouldn't be where it is today. Even after 35 hours, I probably would have spent tons of time creating a simple save system. I would have spent weeks trying to create the animation system for the horse, and I probably would have never figured out my chain system. It probably would still be broken, and I would have spent hours and hours on a broken system. So just by spending £169, that's actually probably saved me in terms of labour cost well over £1,000. So having those assets in has definitely been a good purchase. It just hurts a bit when you have to set out that initial outlay. So I think this is important because I want to sell the game eventually and put this on Steam, and then from the sales from that Steam be able to hopefully port it to something like the Nintendo Switch. I need to know kind of when I've broken even. So by keeping a track of the cost here, it's going to allow me to know how many units I need to ship, how much to actually price the game at in order to break even before I even start making a profit. So this is going to be really interesting to see as the weeks go on and as the game gets bigger, just how much that labor cost is really starting to add up. Because even though it is, it's effectively my time, I'm not actually paying someone to do this, so I haven't actually forked out £525 in order to make this happen, but I've committed this time to making this game, which then in effect has a financial impact, and that financial impact to date has been £525. So this is just a really interesting kind of test and experiment to see how much this game is really going to cost me. Because let me tell you, if I had to pay someone to do that, this game wouldn't happen. I need more money! But that said, this is such a cool thing to work on, and I am really enjoying it and learning so much along the way as well. I mean, yes, the hours that I spend on it have a financial impact and a time impact, but I'm also gaining tons of experience along the way. I'm earning XP. So let's go ahead and press play. Let's see where this game is so far. So we start off with our intro. We're going to go for a wide shot. You hear people arguing in the background from the ranch. Zoom in and see the drunk rancher coming out. He's clearly moody, he's grumbling. He slowly stumbles towards the barn, and I need to add in a bottle and stuff here. I don't know whether he should carry a lantern because that'll make the lighting look really dynamic as he's walking down. You see a shot from inside the barn. He slams open the door, stumbles in, and you see your horse for the first time chained up against the wall. And then that's as far as it's got. And then from there, the intro will carry on. Once you see the horse, the rancher will basically threaten the horse and make it feel scared and throw the beer bottle, which smashes. And then the story will unfold from there. So although it doesn't look like a lot's been done, a lot of planning and project setup has gone on in the background, particularly with things like the implementation of the Obi Rope for the chain around his neck, the easy save systems now and there, and that really is such a great system. I can save data really quickly, just one line of code to save data and then load it again, and that's going to be used for keeping track of like collectibles that you pick up around the environment, knowing what levels you've unlocked, and I didn't want to spend weeks and weeks really creating my own save system for that. It would have taken me hours, which would have had a massive financial cost, and I don't think the game would be ready for when I want it to be ready. So we're looking good. So from here we're going to finish off the intro. Been tied up with a few other personal projects, and also the new Udemy course that's been coming out soon. That's nearly done, and as soon as that's done, it's properly all systems go on Echoes in the Meadow. Anyway, I really hope you enjoy these devlogs. I love making them and letting you see how it's progressed, and hopefully you can see how it's come along even in these first few videos. But as we spend more time on it, it's really going to ramp up. You'll slowly see the art start to change, as you've probably seen already, and then we'll start to block out how the levels work and how you go to that kind of meadow dreamlike space in between the main levels. It's all really exciting. I'm so looking forward to you seeing it. But thank you for watching. If you're enjoying these devlogs, then please subscribe and you'll get notification when I upload again. But until the next time, I'll see you then.